Is this something to do with our memory, slipping of our memory as we grow old? We do have short-term, long-term memory problems as we are young these days. Now, what I would like to tell you from my observation is there's a lot of research going on how exactly the brain is processing and storing memory. We are still unable to, identify and track where exactly the memory is stored in our human brain. Now, food is one of the major reasons which affects our brain. If you go to Dr. Russell Blaylock and the YouTube and see his video on MSG, monosodium glutamate, hello viewers, I am your Dr.C.K.N. A warm welcome to this program. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about dementia and Alzheimer's. So, most of us in the modern world society, we know what exactly is dementia and Alzheimer's. I'm not going to go into that explanation. Now, is this something to do with our memory? Slipping of our memory as we grow old, and we do have short-term, long-term memory problems as we are young these days. So we're going to talk about Alzheimer's today. So now what I would like to tell you from my observation is the radio frequency radiation of mobile screens, the blue light toxicity of the computers and iPad screens are having its own impact on our brain, which reduces our memory power. So it is very, very difficult for us to prove at the moment, but I estimate that radio frequency radiation is having enormous effect with respect to our brain activity in the field of memory. So this dementia and Alzheimer's is one which hits an individual in its old age, maybe 70 plus, 80 plus, 90 plus and all that. These days it even hits 40 plus and 50 plus age group people. So what exactly is happening there is, there is a series of 15 videos I have given about the human brain in my video channel. In case if you can spend your quality time, if you have time and spend your quality time, I want you to go and have a look at that. It's there in English also. It talks about the memory part of our human brain function. Short-term memory, long-term memory, where exactly the memory is stored and all that. There's a lot of research going on how exactly the brain is processing and storing memory, but then we are still unable to, identify and track where exactly the memory is stored in our human brain. So as we all know, 70% of our human body, including our brain, is made out of water molecules. So in my video, I have said, according to the ancient science, the gathering of memory from the time we are born is not stored in the memory, in our brain. It is stored outside. It's like exactly cloud computing. Our brain works only as a RAM, connecting that memory which is stored outside. Okay? And in my lengthy video, I have explained this. You can go and have a look at that video on the human brain with respect to memory. In my playlist, you can select and go and see that video. So when the problem happens to our RAM, it will not be in a position to pick up what it wants. So we find difficulty. What are the reasons for all these things? Okay. You know, our brain is about 1400 grams when we are reaching our adulthood, and after the age of 65, it reduces by 100 grams. It comes to 1300 grams. This is the anatomy part of the brain which we could manage to study in the modern science. But at 1400 grams or 1300 grams, the brain is still potential enough to process everything. It can work as good as you are in 30s and 40s. There is no doubt about it, provided if you remain healthy with your mental health. Now, food is one of the major reasons which affects our brain. If you go to Dr. Russell Blaylock and the YouTube and see his video on MSG, monosodium glutamate, which if we are going to have too much of hotel and restaurant foods where they use a lot of MSGs day in and day out, to increase the taste of the food, which we don't know whether they're using MSG or not. If we're going to depend on a lot of it, we're going to have this in and day out. And how bad these MSGs go and affect the brain, creating nodules and other things and all that. Then the DHA, the docosahexaenoic acid and all that stuff, production of dopamine and all kinds of, there are innumerable number of chemicals are produced by the human brain cells for various functions. When we are in many types of emotions, many chemicals are being produced, to show our anger and laughter and happiness and joy and sorrow and whatnot. And all these things becomes a very important brain functions which we are unable to, till today understand how exactly these things are working. If you are getting into Alzheimer's, if you're going to have memory loss and other things, recorrect your food pattern with respect to eating hot food, home cooked food, timely food, a gap between 3-4 hours between your dinner and sleep and whatnot. And then there are certain small traditional medicines are available. They're all very simple ones. They're all flower-based medicines with which you can improve your RAM and reduce the intensity of your Alzheimer's. If somebody is suffering from memory loss and Alzheimer's, contact us. We will be in a position to help you. And till we see you in the next video, I say goodbye and good luck. Thank you.